Welcome to the Prosperity Playground, the podcast where business meets energetics, strategy meets soul, and prosperity becomes inevitable. I'm your host, Anna Lozano, mom, founder, investor, mentor, and energetics in business expert. This is your weekly activation to rewire how you think and feel about wealth, success, and personal power, because it's not about working harder, it's about regulating deeper, aligning stronger, and receiving wider. You don't hustle for your future, you calibrate to your higher self. Join me weekly for high-level conversations with the world's most inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders. True prosperity isn't just about money. It's about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth. Welcome to the playground. Let's build your most prosperous life. Welcome back to the Prosperity Playground podcast. My guest today is the oh so beautiful inside and out Tori Wesszer, who is a registered dietitian, best-selling cookbook author, and the creative heart behind Fraîche Living, a beloved food and lifestyle brand known for its warmth, wellness, and approachable elegance. She co-authored the bestsellers Fresh Food, Full Hearts, and Fresh Food, Fuller Hearts alongside her cousin, Jillian Harris, bringing generations of family-inspired recipes to life. Based in the picturesque wine region of Kelowna, British Columbia, Tori is a mom of two, wife, and entrepreneur who has become a trusted voice for women seeking more simplicity, nourishment, and joy in their everyday lives. Her passion for making home-cooked meals feel doable and beautiful led to the creation of Fraîche Table, a modern meal planning platform that helps busy families answer the age-old question, what's for dinner? With an effortless blend of nourishment and nostalgia, Tori inspires her community to slow down, savor the moment, and create a life and a home they truly love. In today's episode, we dive into the inner work behind the external wins and revisiting our why frequently. We talk about creating connection through simplicity, from launching Fraîche Table to parenting with presence. Tori opens up about building products that solve real problems, and we discuss a powerful reframe of prioritization over balance. Welcome to today's episode. Hey, Tori Wesszer, welcome to the show. I'm so excited you're here.
Oh my gosh, this is the best. I am so happy that we get to connect this way. Seriously, this is the best.
I love it. And I have to tell you two things. One is your silent Z or Z, whatever we want to call it, took me for a spin. I had to watch your interviews from the past to be like, how do we pronounce the silent Z, which we don't?
It's honestly, I did not read the fine print when I got married. The human brain explodes when it reaches the Z. That's why I spell my name like this, W-E-S-S, and then a pause. And then the Z gets its own place, the Z, and then I let them process it because people need a time to process the Z, and then I finish with ER. So you are not alone, my friend.
I love that. So that's one. Two, I moved to Kelowna in 2022, and I cannot even believe we've never had a run-in. Like, it's not such a big town, and I know we hang at similar places with similar people. So I'm like, what's up?
This is just overdue. This is overdue, and I'm so excited that we're connecting now. I feel like this is like the start of a BFF friendship here, my friend. So this is great.
This is it. So we're going to dive in deep. The first thing I'd love to know from you is you're running a wildly successful business, a wildly successful brand. You're raising your boys consciously. You have bestseller cookbooks. What is that inner why that drives it all for you?
It's so funny that you asked me this because as I was driving home from my cousin's bachelorette last weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm going to read finally Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And I've never read it. I've always wanted to. But I was feeling this really deep need to get back to my why. And truthfully, I was feeling burnt out, uninspired, kind of like no pep in my step when it comes to what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I kind of went back to the drawing board very recently, just thinking about what my why is. And when I look back, I've always been a really hard worker. Like, I love working hard, probably to a fault. Like, I'm almost a bit of a productivity junkie. And I've realized over the years, there's just some sort of a dopamine hit, I guess, I get from accomplishing things, from achieving things. But I very rarely like rest in the moment. I'm like, okay, what's next? And I think that drive is really awesome. I think it's allowed me to create some great things. But I think there's a darker side to that drive that is very rarely talked about. And I think that it really boils down to one word for me. When I was really digging, kept on digging deep. I had nowhere to go. It was a long drive from Jasper or Banff, I guess it was, to Kelowna. And so I started thinking about what the word is, and it's really enough. And I started thinking about how I was just not feeling enough, like that I just couldn't do enough. Really, I'm in the sandwich generation. So I've got young kids. I'm working not a 9 to 5. I'm working a lot. I have my own business. I just love what I do. And then I have aging parents, and my parents are dealing with health issues. And so I'm always feeling like no matter where I am in life, I'm like always feeling like I should be somewhere else. That I should be, when I'm spending time at work, I should be with my kids, or should be with my parents, or maybe I wasn't present enough with my parents when I was with them. And oh my gosh, my dad has Alzheimer's disease, and I should be creating these new memories, and he's only getting outside if I take him for a walk. It's just like almost like this panic. Yeah. And so when I really started thinking about why I do what I do and who I'm doing it for, a lot of it boiled down to thinking about the woman, which I think many of us are silently sitting in that not enough, silently sitting in like I'm feeling like I'm failing, like I'm not doing a good enough job. And the reality is we are fighting an impossible battle. Well, of course we're feeling like we're not enough. We are trying to do Mission Impossible. Literally. This is Mission Impossible. And we are set up to fail. So when I think about my why, I think about the woman who is just trying to keep it all together, that she's trying to feel like she's accomplishing things, but she's just feeling like she's kind of drowning, because I have been that woman, and many days I am that woman. So like, how can I show up and serve her? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And this is so relatable. I had a beautiful conversation with someone yesterday, and she's probably a decade younger than us. And so she used the word easy. It was easy to raise $800,000 for my startup. It's been easy to get my business scaling over the first 16 months. And so I asked her, I said, you've used the word easy a lot. And what about the women who are rolling their eyes? Because there's nothing easy about business and aging parents and children who we want to parent consciously and all the hats that we wear. And she made me cry. She said, I look to women like you and this generation of us who's done it one way, because we are part of the hustle culture. That's how many of us started our businesses. It was the sacrifice culture. And yet we're bringing this awareness into everything we do and saying, hey, like, it is enough. Everything that I'm doing. Look at your beautiful house. I just look at the mirror. I'm like, holy shit, it feels like we're in Paris. And that's one minuscule thing that you have going on. And so I find this so inspiring to say, everything that I'm doing, it's enough. And for today, it's enough. And tomorrow, when you bring awareness to it, where we feel an overwhelm, to remind ourselves, today's enough. Everything that today is enough.
It's such a bit of grace with ourselves, isn't it? It's like, you know what? No, Anna, you're doing a great job. Right now, right here, with meeting yourself exactly where you are, you're doing a great job. I heard this thing the other day. It was on someone's social media, so I can't remember who, but she said, on social media, you're looking through everyone's lens into a little window, just a tiny window out to their house. But then you're judging your whole house based on someone's tiny little window. And I would like to say that you're seeing this. This is a
beautiful window.
My friends, I've got a laundry room full of dirty soccer gear, and there's Ginch hanging all over Charlie's room. And like, honestly, my life isn't perfect. And I do worry that, because I like pretty things. Yeah. And I do think that pretty things and beautiful things matter. There's small things and they seem superficial, but I actually think that they matter. And my goal has always been to be a soft place for people to land, and to help give the tools to just spark that little bit of joy, whether it's, setting a pretty table or planting some flowers that bring you joy. Along the way, my fear has been that at the same time that I may not be showing enough of the vulnerable stuff, the stuff that I'm going through what everyone else is. And so that when you think about the why, I'm also thinking about how can I show up with just, I want to show those things too, but if I'm only showing people that small window without enough of the other stuff, I don't want other people to see my content and feel like not enough. Like that would be defeating the purpose. So these are the conversations that go inside my head.
Yeah. And I feel it's also shifted over the years, right? Like I was reading your bio and, the word influencer, I feel like over the years, over the last, at least 5 years, that's really shifted as well. And what you do bring is the joy and the simplicity. Like when I land on your stuff, I'm like, it's just so pretty. And yet it's a bouquet of flowers, right? So it's a reminder to find joy in the small things. And yet you're raising boys. And so you're surrounded by male energy every day. So show us the stinky soccer shoes too, once in a while too.
Oh, I will. The next clip will be in Charlie's bedroom and everyone's going to feel so much better. I promise you, my friends. Oh my gosh.
I love that. So what about balance? I was the queen of saying balance is bullshit. But now looking back when I used to say that a lot, growing businesses with toddlers and a baby, I feel it's because there was zero balance in my life. Now, how does that look like for you? Because again, we see the snapshot of all the perfection. But what does balance mean to you, and how are you achieving it in all the different areas of your life?
Well, I'm not, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I used to put balance on my word of the year list or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And Anna, okay, I'm a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And I think it dawned on me that balance was another perfectionist word that I was throwing into my jargon.
Right.
Because my idea of balance maybe is different to someone else. So a word is just a word. It just depends on your interpretation of it. But to me, balance meant perfection. Balance meant that I was doing it all and I was doing it all perfectly, that I had it all figured out. And I have just been like, you know what? I don't have it figured out, and I probably never will, because some days I'm just a hot mess, and that's just how I am. But you know what? So the word that I've substituted for balance, because I do think there's an element of balance that I know that we're all craving.
Yeah.
But I think, at least for me, as a busy entrepreneur with some really big dreams and a busy mind, and I probably have ADHD. I'm like, honestly, I'm just that person. The word that I chose to replace balance with was prioritization, because I think for me, it's just a game of priorities and trades, because you could do anything, Anna, but you can't do everything. It's just the way it should be.
Especially at once, right?
Right. And it's too bad. You think you can, but hey, try.
Yeah.
Been on the other side of that, and the burnout ain't very much fun. But I've substituted that with prioritization. I'm like, if I say yes to this, is it worth the no, right? And sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I get it wrong.
I love that
But
word.
ultimately, it's just about the trades. And the other day when I came home from Jillian's bachelorette, and I walked in the door and I was probably a little hungover and I was. And I looked at Charlie, my 13-year-old, with his size 11 shoes, and he's got a mustache, and this didn't happen over the weekend, but I started crying. I cried myself to sleep that night because I was so worried that maybe I didn't make the right trades. And Charles was like, just be quiet and go to bed. You're fine. But I was so worried that maybe I made the bad trades that mom guilt, that did I miss out? Did I make the right trades when he was a kid? But now I mean, obviously every day is a new day to make the right trades. So I don't have it all balanced. If you want to use the word balance as a perfect, she's got it all going on and all perfectly figured out to a fine tune. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But am I working on making sure my priorities are in the right place? Absolutely. And that feels better to me.
That feels so safe. It feels really grounded to say, what are the priorities? And it could be weekly, quarterly, for the year, and actually listing it out. It feels like safety in my body to say, okay, right now, super overwhelming time in my life, and all beautiful stuff. It's just, we live between Mexico and Kelowna, and there's just a lot going on. And it is a month out of the year, but putting everything down in order brings again my nervous system to this place of, hey, you're safe. Everything's going to work out. And when you surrender and trust, it always works out better than you even expected. And so interesting you bring that up post bachelorette, because I literally wrote it down on my sticky note because I was watching those stories and it touched my heart. And that's why I replied via DM, because I'm like, I am feeling that so in my heart. My oldest is 9. My youngest is turning 7 this month. And you literally say, did I miss it? Did I make the right trades? And I'm like, how many women are asking themselves this? And to bring that balance back into our nervous system is getting those priorities straight, prioritizing all areas of our life. I really feel like that is a beautiful solution and so quote unquote achievable and attainable for women like us. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm literally obsessed. So in our work world, that's something that we really, really talk about here. Now, you have the success. So if we talk about the success, the partnership with Walmart, the best selling cookbook, all those things that we get to see externally, what work has been your inner work journey, expanding yourself to really be able to hold and also attract these opportunities?
I think that it took me a really long time to develop a strong sense of self-worth. If I'm really going to be honest, I struggled for years. I always felt that success and great big things and the things that maybe were worth it, working hard for achieving, that they were kind of reserved for someone else. And I think a lot of women feel that way. Yeah. That, you know, when I look at my heroes, when I look at Martha Stewart, or I look at Ina Garten or Oprah, and you just think that, oh my gosh, they might have a superpower. You know what I mean? Like what? But that's them and that's not me. But they're just regular humans. Yeah. They're just regular humans. But you know, the difference is that they believe in themselves. Yeah. They believe in themselves. And it started to dawn on me. I think it's just honestly, and I don't think there's anything I could have read. At one point in my life, I was such addicted to self-help books. I was just grasping at honestly, all the self-help books, what kind of coming from a place, Anna, of what's wrong with me? Like all these other people have it figured out and I don't. What's wrong with me? So looking elsewhere for all of the direction. And then it just dawned on me one day. I'm like, hey, well, there's humans writing these self-help books and they're flawed and they have crappy days and all of those other things just like me. Yeah. And then also the unlock, I think, for the Oprahs and the Barefoot Contessa and the Martha Stewarts of the world is that they believe in themselves and they don't let other people's opinions get in the way. Yeah. Right. So I think as a people pleaser and having a deep rooted fear of failure, I grew up with a deep rooted fear of failure all of my life. And so that's a big driver. It always has been for me. It's just keep going, because if you stop, you just might not get back up. You know, it's that fear of that. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, if I don't believe in myself, who's going to believe in me? Okay. How fair is it of me to ask other people to believe in me if I'm not believing in myself?
That's huge.
Seriously. So I started really having so much more love and grace for myself. I started being kinder to myself and talking to myself more like I would a best friend versus, just beating myself up, which I did for years. And just knowing, I think I've also, at my older age, I'm like, you got one kick at this. And so I could sit back and sit and play small and make myself small. And that's a really easy, safe thing to do, isn't it? Yeah. But the braver version of me and the version of me that I want to show my children, and that I hope when I'm sitting in my rocking chair that I'm proud of, if I'm so lucky to sit in a rocking chair when I'm older, is the me that shows up and hey, I'm here. I say yes before I'm ready all the time. Yeah. All the time. And then I say yes, and then I figure it out. And I love that about me, because I'm sure I've embarrassed myself. I'm sure I've done things that screw up. I'm sure, but you know what? Nobody really notices. And if they do, whatever, that's fine. But other people's opinion of me is none of my business. And I just think, you know what? If I try to please everyone in life, I'm just going to fail. And if I'm worried about what everyone thinks about me all the time, then I'm just going to keep on staying small. So I'm just going to not in a really, hopefully a humble way. Yeah. But I'm just going to you know what? I'm going to be the best version of me for the world, because I think the world needs more of that. Yes. And happy people are kind people. And I really like kindness. So let's just do more of that. and I'm just going to show up and do that. And when it comes to something like Walmart, they believed in me. So it got to the point where I'm working away and someone liked me. They believed in me. I now owe it to them to believe in me,
Yes.
right? I'm like, oh yeah, they believe in me. Guess what? I'm going to show up and do my very best because they believe in me too. And that's the kind of person I am. So anyway, that's just, do I get imposter syndrome? Do I doubt myself? Do I get nervous? Do all those, yeah, all of the things, but I do it anyway. Cause I think that doing the hard thing, all of the great stuff is on the other side of fear.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So just so much juiciness in everything that you said. Number one, it's magnetic. Everything you just said, I felt your aura just expand and light up. And so you believing in yourself creates the magnetism, which then draws in these incredible opportunities. Really, it's so simple. And I think you started talking about the self-help industry. It can really be a downward spiral journey because we can get addicted to that. I need more of that. I need more books. I need more therapists. I need more coaches. I need more retreats. I need more, insert the thing that you think you need. And what you described really was a decision to say, I believe in me. I have this awareness. I'm choosing to believe in myself. And from that, everything began to open itself up because this is how energy works. And so I feel it's really beautiful. And not only is it magnetic to business opportunities, but your boys get to witness this. And they get to witness their mom living her most inspired life in her confidence. And so it's just a beautiful spiral and a legacy that you're creating for your boys. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. What other practices or rituals or things that you love to do? So you've mentioned just a simple bouquet of flowers brings that joy, taking the decision to believe in self and showing up in that way each day. What are some of your other things? I mean, we live in beautiful Okanagan, so nature is a huge part of that, I bet.
Yeah. I'm a better version of me when I exercise first thing in the morning. The research has come in and it's very clear. I am a better version of me so I love waking up in the morning. There's nothing that makes me, the earliest I could wake up, the better.
You're
I
an
am that
early
annoying
bird?
morning person. I am the early bird. Yes. I am the early bird. Like for any time after 4 a.m. is game for me.
Oh
If I wake up after any time, like a minute after 4 or at 4, if I wake up earlier than that, I'm like, Tori, come on, be reasonable.
Okay, I'm just going to interrupt your thought for 1 sec. So I went to a beautiful retreat with Renee Warren, who we know, and Jen Pike. Those women are the 5 a.m. club. Meanwhile, I can wake up at 9 a.m. and be my best version of myself, but they're making me wake up at 6 a.m. So I'm showing up. Everyone else is up, ready to work out, do their thing. I'm like, I'm waking up because I'm going to network and I'm going to connect and we're going to soul chat and this is worth it. And the week after, I had to sleep until 10 a.m. to make up for it. So.
Oh, but you know what? That's how you're hardwired. I think we have to honor how we're hardwired. Like the 5 a.m. club, I got to laugh out of that book because sure, that's great if you're hardwired that way, but there's some people that just.
So I admire you for being wired that way because it really is inspirational and you get a lot done when everyone else is sleeping.
But honestly, and I've been like that since a kid.
Yeah.
So it's not that I am an early morning person.
Your parents were probably not very happy with that.
Yeah, I was a pretty good kid, so I was quiet and I used to just have extra time and walk to school. I don't know, kind of a weirdo. But yeah, I definitely picked the mascara off my mom's eyelashes while she slept. How annoying is that? What a saint for putting up with me.
I love that because my kids wake up earlier than 7, then they're tugging at me, can we have breakfast? I'm like, no, I'm sleeping. Go back to bed until I wake up.
Totally. The cereal's over there, yes, exactly. But yeah, exercise in the morning and I've fallen out of it. And this morning I woke up and because it's so easy, isn't it, to get onto, say, the device, or I'm just going to check emails, or I'm just going to check Instagram, and then down the rabbit hole I go, and now you know it, I'm sitting on the couch in my workout gear, which not even close to being out the door. So I try not to negotiate with myself. I set myself up for success. I have my tea ready for the morning. I have my workout gear. I have everything that I possibly need to get changed and go out the door and go to the gym. love to exercise outside. So a morning walk, if I'm not at the gym, a little hike around the neighborhood. If I ever get eaten by a bear, you know what happened? It was me going out for an early walk in the woods. Okay. You heard it here. You heard it here. And then I love tea in the morning. I'm a tea drinker, not a coffee drinker. I love to have a clean kitchen. It's not that the rest of my house is clean, but the kitchen clean. Make your bed. I do think there's something to that.
There is. There really
I
is.
also want to say I take HRT now, and you want to talk about rituals? That's changed my life, and we should be talking about that more as women as well.
Tell us about
That's
it.
a big
Tell
one.
us. Tell us everything.
Yeah. Oh, I went, actually, it's so funny because I think I spent a week in perimenopause without HRT before I was like, yeah, this is BS. Like marched straight into my doctor's. Like some people like really slug it out in the ditch for a really long time, you know? And they're like, I'm suffering. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I ain't on the fence. I am going right into my doctor. These hot flashes are no one's business. Like I was so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. So I am very grateful. I was one of those people that went on HRT early. I take the estradiol, the gel, and I take progesterone, and life is good. I'm sleeping better. Hot flashes are gone. All of those things.
Good. And this is the thing. We don't need to fit into one bucket. I actually witnessed my mom really suffer through menopause. And I'm like, for what? I understand you're holistic and natural, but there's a place and a time for everything. So I think that self-permission to really make a decision that feels most in alignment for you is so empowering, because we don't need to suffer our way through this. It's a large portion of our life, perimenopause and menopause. And then how do we suffer through that and then show up with all of the hats that we wear?
It's really tough. It's really tough. I think we're just all kind of feeling like we're holding on by a thread, which is why I am really proud of that girl that you referenced at the beginning saying this is easy. Yeah. You know, it's funny because I don't think we give enough medals, badges of honor for someone showing up and saying it's easy. There's almost like just a badge of honor for saying I'm burnt out, I'm busy. How about it's okay if it's easy? Oh gosh, wouldn't that be great if we can all make it just a little bit easier? And that's why I meal plan. That's why because I was that woman. I was like, I'm a dietitian, and I was like, 5 o'clock would come, and what's for dinner? I'm like ready to cry. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I talk about feeling like a failure. I'm like, this is my whole profession, and I don't have a plan. This is really the worst. So I created something for me because I was like, I need a plan. Like this sucks. So I feel like we're all just trying to juggle too much. Like let's give ourselves some tools and shortcuts to make life easier.
Yes.
That's good.
And let's celebrate the ease that we are experiencing, like feeling way better in your health. And I want to go to the fresh meal plan next, because I'm going to share a secret. I don't cook. And I have a bazillion reasons, excuses as to why I don't. I'm blessed with a husband who cooks. But you created a product for you that also serves female founders and busy homes around the world. So tell us about the inspiration for we have it here, the Fraîche Table that you created, the product you created, the inspo behind it, and what it's all about, because I feel like every single person needs this in their home.
You know, and I see such a gap between figuring it out yourself at home. You might start like Monday or Tuesday off strong, but as the week unfolds, so do you, quite frankly. Yeah. And it's just, I saw the struggle in myself. I saw it in my friends, where they were just, it was either throwing something together that makes you feel not proud, make you feel like a failure. If you're, kind of silently, if you're not, putting together something that feels good to serve your family. And it's great if your husband does. I think as long as one of you does, that's really the most important thing. And most of the time, let's not, again, we're not aiming for perfect. I still order pizza every once in a while. Yeah. Perfect, no. But, and then, so there's like this gap I see between figuring it out yourself, and it's messy and it's chaotic, and take out or skip the dishes. Right. And that doesn't feel great either. You're spending a lot of money. It's usually not super healthy. It doesn't arrive that quickly, and it's soggy. There's all sorts of issues with that too. So I know grocery prices are super expensive. Life isn't getting less stressful. How do we help people eat better together at home? Because the biggest thing for me is like, how do we just get around the dinner table more often as a family? It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to set that beautiful table. Keep that for the weekends. But how do you just connect over dinner? Because if you're like me, and possibly you, I could think that you're probably in the same boat. You see your kids before they go to school, and then they're just busy and there's activities and whatnot. And then you see them later on in the evening, hopefully for a bit of dinner, but maybe it's after sports. And then you tuck them in and it's like, how much time is that really? So how much time are we really getting to spend with our family? And I think the dinner table is such a prime opportunity for us to get more of that time. So if I want to reverse engineer that, how can I help busy women just reclaim time for themselves and get dinner on the table in a way that doesn't feel like they're having to pull out their hair and doing that? And Fraîche Table, which is my meal plan, is my solution to that.
Oh, first of all, I just think the huge why behind that is, yes, the time and the efficiency, but to reconnect around the dinner table, which I feel has been lost in certain times of our life. And I think about, I grew up in a Polish immigrant home. My mom cooked, but she also worked, and my parents were always busy working. And so sometimes we'd have the meal, which yes, was prepared at home, but in front of the TV. And it's like that connection of bringing everyone together. If we can create those traditions and have that as a family foundation, that we eat dinner together every day or as often as possible, when our kids are teenagers and when they're adults, like, this is so beautiful. Like, that connection will not be lost. And so I see that. I'm a business strategist too. That's how my mind thinks. I'm like, that is the why behind the product that we need to sell.
I love it. I love it. You and I need to talk. Yeah, it's true. It's just like, what you always think of things and like, what does the world need more of? Yeah. It's just, if you want to really boil it down, really distill it into what does the world need more of? I think the world needs more kindness. I think the world needs, more connection. And if you think about what's upstream from kindness as an example, well, you need to create environments where people are connecting, and we're hardwired as humans to connect. That is just how we are as a species. So it makes sense if we're feeling lost and alone and not enough and all these things, like, we need more connection. And my gift that I hope to bring the world is, let's connect over food. Let's do this.
I love that. So talk about the meal plan. So how does it work? What does it look like?
Yeah, it's a digital subscription and it lives on your phone, on any device that you have. And you can actually share it with your spouse. So you have the same login. The cool thing is you can all be on the same page. Someone's asking what's for dinner. It's like, hey, it's on your phone. Go log in. So what happens is that we create these intact weeks. They're customizable, so you can change them up at any point. But we have thousands of recipes, but nobody needs more options in their life. So to take the options, the decision making out, right? One more decision, no merci. So
okay, let me just say too, so as someone who doesn't cook, that's one of the reasons, because I take out some of the cookbooks, not yours, of course. I have that one. That one is beautiful there and more simple than what I used to come across. And I would get stuck if there was a certain ingredient that I did not have. That was my point of quitting. I was like, I don't have this, therefore I cannot make this entire recipe. Do you find that happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the criteria when we're developing recipes. So I'm a dietitian, so the health stuff is already there. I look for balance, but it's not like balance like everyone's eating, just tofu and whatever, carrot sticks all day. It's not like that. It's it's like the reasonable balance. But when we test recipes, we test them over and over again to make sure that they're as simple as possible. Like, can 3 steps be 1? That, for example, start there. And then if we come across and someone's like, well, we were making this recipe and I couldn't find whatever, za'atar or whatever, some ingredient. I'm like, gone. Because when I'm creating a recipe, when I'm creating Fraîche Table, I'm picturing a busy mom. When I picture this avatar, it's like a busy mom, and this isn't everyone, but I'm like the most stretched version of her. So she's got a toddler on one hip, maybe another child, running around. Everyone's asking her for something. Her hair is in like a bun that's off to her side because she's like hasn't had a shower in 3 days. The dog's barking. She's just trying to figure out dinner. How can I make this as easy as for her? Because you know what she doesn't need to do? She doesn't need to be going to 3 grocery stores looking for some random ingredient. So it's a hard no. So we make the recipes themselves super simple, very quick and easy. We lay everything out in a really beautiful aesthetic, so it feels like I want people to feel good when they come to the site. That matters to me.
It does.
That matters to me. They're coming into my house. It's my house. So, and then what we do is we plan out all the meals. You can do just dinners because that's the biggest thing for people. Or if you're wanting more, you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinners. You can customize it to how you want every week. Again, it feeds you a new week every single week. So you can customize it if you want. And then it spits out, once you're done customizing it, if you do that, if it's the adventure you choose, then and we have thousands of recipes to choose from. It all piles into a done for you grocery list. So your grocery list is all done for you. So you're not you're not going to the grocery store 4 times during the week. You're not forgetting anything. And it's almost like, Anna, like the feeling of having a meal kit, but it's all done for you. So it's like all the groceries are in your house. How does it feel? Think about how it would feel to come home. You know what you're making for dinner, and you know the groceries are in the house, and it even tells you simple like prep ahead steps. So it's literally it's like it's got your back. Is kind of what it's doing.
You're genius, like literally genius. I'm sold, and I feel like this is going to be my summer project. This is my gateway to start cooking. What do you think? I'm going to make you a promise.
I love it.
Anna's
I love it. Let's FaceTime together and do it. I think this is, I will be part of your summer project. I would be so honored. Let's do it.
I started cooking because of the fresh meal plans. Like I feel like I can do this. I really do. And for anyone listening,
I love that.
So yes, for simplicity, yes, for ease, yes, for connecting together with the family, but also if you don't cook like me that I'm publicly sharing right now, because there's judgment around that too. Like, how are you a woman and don't cook? Like literally I burn absolutely everything. And so and I have 2 girls. And I've spoken to them about this, but I feel it's something we can do together, and they can see mommy learning new skills, doing things that are challenging, and yet you're going to make it simple. So
I love that. Good for you. Good for you. I think isn't that the most beautiful way that you can show up for your girls, right?
Exactly.
Just showing them. I'm like, I'm going to try something new. I just took up tennis.
Oh, you did?
And I am the worst. I am the worst. Do you play tennis?
You know what? Pickleball is way easier. So that's where I started.
Yeah. You know what? I like to take the hard road, Anna. I'm like, how can I make this as difficult as possible for myself? Apparently that's my thing. That's my thing.
So next you're going to try pickleball, and we're going to talk about ease again.
Okay. I can't wait for that pep talk. Honestly, I'm here for it, because I guess at this rate, I am not going to Wimbledon, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh. I love that. So this meal plan, what vision do you hold with that as a business owner? So you've created, I'm sure it took a lot of time to create this behind the scenes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a high priority project. We work on it. It's a no joke thing. Like it's funny because it is a subscription, and people are like, oh, I can get recipes anywhere. I'm like, it's just not like that. It's not like that. There's an architecture to the back end of it, and we're looking at increasing the personalization. So I really want it to feel just, again, like you've got almost like that personal assistant in the kitchen. That's kind of the vibe that I want it to feel. So that it gets to know you. So the meal plan is really just understands you and your family so much that you think almost like nothing. Oh. And ideally I can get it to the point where it does the grocery shopping for you. And these are the things I'm working on. So it's just like the one-stop shop. When you think about eating at home, it's just that's the only place you need to go.
Oh, I love that. And also like grocery delivery infused in that. I love it. I love it. So
Me too.
As a founder, what vision do you hold for that product that you have created?
I want it to be and I don't like the word meal plan, but I want it to be the number one mealtime solution in North America. Yeah. The number one way that people get meals on the table in North America.
I love
like that. Yeah, that's my plan, because it's such a big gap. It's a universal gap. Yeah. People need to eat. How are they eating? Yeah. How are people doing dinner times? Is everyone okay? Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. So how can I just make it achievable for people? That's my goal. As many people as I can.
That's so huge. And also the fact that you are a dietitian and that's consciously infused in there is huge, because yes, you can order, there's other options. And yet for me, like making sure that we are eating healthy and my kids are growing and nutritious, eating nutritious food, they're growing up healthy is key. So the fact that that's just infused in there based on who you are as founder, it's a win-win. What else are you as a founder, as a business owner, really excited about right now?
I am really excited about the cookbook that's coming out. I wrote a cookbook this year and last year. It takes a while.
I just wrote 2 cookbooks in 2 years,
Yeah, no, I did not. They take 3 years. It's like a very long, slow childbirth.
Wow.
And then once you have your baby, you're like, oh, that was amazing. Let's do another one. You forget the pain. That's exactly what happens.
That's exactly.
But I'm really excited. So I can't disclose the name, I don't think yet. I don't know. My publisher hasn't given me the green light to do it, but I am publishing a new cookbook. This is a solo cookbook in September 2026. I'm
Wow.
so excited about it. So that's exciting. I am continuing my work with Walmart. There'll be more to come there, which I'm very excited about as well. And I really want to figure out, I'm trying not to do more. I'm a bit of a shiny object syndrome girl. I'm definitely like a visionary, very creative, but also I hire people to help me, wonderful people, to help me stay organized, because it's a bit of a gap for myself, because I'm just like, whew, I'm the idea girl. So if I'm going to be honest with you, I'd like to do what I'm doing right now, but just do it really well.
I love
And
it.
so I have tons of ideas, and I'm sure I'm super annoying to my team, but I am going to really try to just do the things that are in front of me and do them really well, because I'm so passionate about them. I don't think I need another new thing. I just need to do this stuff well.
I think so. I think you have such a huge opportunity to scale the meal planning and of course the cookbook. I already see it going to be a huge success. This is amazing. Is there anything? I have 3 questions at the end. Is there anything that I haven't asked based on inner world, self-work, building a business, parenting consciously that you'd love to add?
You've asked so many great things, and I just wanted to reiterate, just for all the people that are tuning in, just go for it. Honestly, just go for it, because you get one kick at this life, and I know there's so many things that hold us back and make us feel like we need to play small. And I just want to say, you are worth it. Whatever makes you tick, whatever makes your heart happy, whatever like the most like 10.0 version of yourself would be, in the words of Dan Martell, just give her. Because you know what? Nobody's going to notice if you slip and fall. It might happen. Celebrate it. Get back up on that horse and keep going. But I'm so excited when I see people really following their dreams and just like doing the hard, brave thing. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So I just say, like, I'm here rooting you on. Whatever you're doing right now, just start somewhere. Don't wait for perfection. The perfect moment will never come. Just start somewhere and do the hard thing. And you know what? You're going to be amazing.
So good. And this is like exactly what I want my children to know. You summarized it so beautifully. Obviously, every entrepreneur and female founder as well. But my kids, so my daughter, she's just turning 7. She's doing a solo in front of the whole school. I am feeling some mom guilt because I'm actually going to be in Kelowna, so I'm going to miss it, which is insane. But I'm telling her that, Soph, you just keep dancing. If you forget a part, nobody knows. So you just figure out, make some move that's going to look ultra cute because you are so cute, and no one's going to know. And so
It's so true.
I am receiving that wisdom as well from you and what I'm sharing with Soph, because no one knows, and have so much fun on this journey. So I'm launching this podcast. I'm having incredible guests like yourself. I'm getting nervous behind the scenes, but my mantra is I get to do this. I get to have these amazing conversations because of a thought I had and the action that I took to get here. And so focus on what you get to do and the amazing business and life you get to create. And that actually eases all of the nerves and turns into excitement. So all that to say, my final questions for you, my love, your future self. So Tori, 20 years from today, what message does she have for you today?
It's gonna be okay. You can slow down, you can pause, and it's gonna be okay. Everything's not gonna fall flat on its face. Yeah. Just enjoy what you got. Soak it up. Smell the roses, because it goes by real fast.
It really does. And I feel this wisdom we hold is based on age as well. I mean, I don't think I felt that fully embodied in my 20s or 30s, but now turning 41, I'm like, yes, there's magic in the pause. There's magic in the pivot. No one's going to forget about you. As long as you're truly aligned and you're showing up unapologetically, you're going to be okay. You're safe. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
It's true. And I will say this too. I'm 47. I've seen my body start to change, and you know how we're so hard on ourselves as women. And it's really humbling when you see your skin start to change, and like just little things, and my energy level and whatnot. And it reminds me that this life doesn't last forever. So, and then that's a really good thing. It's like, oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah, like every day matters. So yeah, just to that point, I think it's it's so amazing that we get to live this life. It's so cool.
Every day matters. I love that. So, parenthood, I know that motherhood is so key to you. What's one truth you hope your boys carry in their hearts based on how you live, the embodiment of you?
Well, I think the most important thing is that they're kind people. I think kindness is the most important thing. When I think again about what the world needs more of, I really in my heart believe it's kindness. Like that is really, doing the right thing. So, ethics, I think it's just doing the right thing even when no one's looking. And so kind, ethical humans is what I hope to raise. And so far, so good, sometimes little monkeys, but they're kind and I love their hearts. And I also think that there's this misconception that it's easy, that things are easy, that, that you can just be a YouTuber, which of course you can, but that everything comes easy. And I want them to understand that anything that's like really worth going for is probably going to take a lot of work because I don't know if I'm doing the best job right now of gearing them up for how hard life can be and how hard you might need to work for something. And so I really want them to understand like the merit of hard work and surrounding yourself with people who make you feel great and like a room that you can grow into. And just celebrating the people that they are and just being proud of themselves and doing that hard thing.
Yeah, it's so interesting you say that because I feel like being raised by Polish immigrant parents, I don't know your upbringing, but I witnessed them work hard. And so that became something that was instilled in me. I started working at the age of 9, delivering newspapers. We'd get bags of newspapers delivered on Friday night, and I'd be delivering newspapers the next morning with black hands. My daughter's 9. She doesn't have that work ethic. And so we're having these conversations like, yes, we want them to know they're innately abundant and prosperous and all the magical, whimsical things. And there's this level of hard work and discipline that is instilled in me and who I am based on how I was raised. And so there's this like, again, balance and not balance of trying to swing completely opposite of how I was raised and yet bringing the great parts of it, even though they were challenging. So do you have any wisdom around that as well? I don't know if you resonate, but it's this conversation between hubby and I.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. We send Instagram reels back and forth to each other about, what is it? Hard times breed soft people, soft people make for hard times. And so the cycle goes. And we do worry a little bit that we're not helping our kids by helping them, but we're not helping them, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
And so I don't know that I've nailed it because also it's harder work. I think it is harder work to get them to do the work. It's something that I need to just get better at. And I do agree with you wholeheartedly.
You know what actually just hopped into my awareness but look at sports though. So your boys are in sports, right? There's that discipline and the hard work in that, even though it is passion, maybe it's different from how we worked hard at younger ages. But yet, when we have them in sports, when we have them committed to passions, I feel like that plays a role in it as well.
It's true. And I think on that angle, I actually didn't play sports. I'm not coordinated. I was going to say I wasn't coordinated, but I'm still not. So I'm just going to own that one. Don't invite me to play on your team. I will make me the last pick. You're welcome. But I think that there is something to that. I think, you know what? Maybe I'm just thinking about around the house stuff. We're just going to really unpack this parenting thing. Yeah. I'm like, dang, I forgot to get them to empty the dishwasher. I know I can do a bit better, but they want to work. And I also have to remember they're going to be fine. Like you're doing great. I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
Right? You're doing great. You're all doing great. Whoever's listening to this, you're doing great.
You know what,
right? It's okay.
I feel like what my coach, who's also like psychic ability, she's amazing, would tell me. She's like, the fact, I will tell you behind the scenes, the fact that we're consciously aware of this conversation is all that matters. And so
it's so true.
I think this is the solution. And so if you're listening to this podcast and you're being hard on yourself or you're experiencing guilt, the fact that you are consciously aware of those thoughts is step number 1 and is the most important thing. So my final question, what is your definition of prosperity?
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, I think that the word prosperity instantly conjures money, I think, usually, right? It's like a kind of an instant thing, maybe not to everyone, but I read this thing the other day, Anna. It was actually, I watched it. It was a reel. And this is it. The guy's like, okay, so you've got a 95-year-old billionaire. And on the other side of the table, you've got this 35-year-old guy, and yeah, he's got a bit of money, so maybe $100,000, say. But he's working hard for all of his goals, but he's still certainly not a billionaire. The billionaire would give all of his money to trade places with this 35-year-old, but there is no amount of money that this 35-year-old would give to trade places, or would take rather to trade places with the 95-year-old. Right? You can pay him enough money. The ultimate currency is not money, it's time. Yeah. The ultimate currency, when you look at it in that way. So prosperity, sure, we all need money to live. Let's be real. Like we all need. There's a certain degree of financial independence and freedom that you do need to live comfortably in the world, to be well fed, etc. But the ultimate power play is having time. And so my idea of prosperity is being comfortable enough financially to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy in life that really truly light me up, to be surrounded with people I love and have enough time to spend with those people I love.
I love that. Prosperity does equal time. It really does. We need to, and how we spend it, most importantly. And that's one of the things I desire to redefine with this podcast is prosperity is health, is time, is connection, is relationships, is personal transformation, growth, evolution, all those things. And we are all worthy of it. Where can everybody find you?
Well, most commonly you can find me on Instagram. The handles are Fraîche Table and Fraîche Living. I have 2 accounts. Spell it the hard way. Spell it like creme fraiche. So FRAICHE, living and table. And then you can also find me on my blog, fraicheliving.com, spelled the same way. And also at the meal plan if you're wanting to eat a little bit better at home with a little less stress, fraichetable.com. So FRAICHE table.com.
Yay. I love that. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you. And I will see you in Kelowna soon.
I can't wait, Anna. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a blast.
Yay! Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Prosperity Playground podcast. If this convo sparked something in you, be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts so you never miss your weekly activation. If you enjoyed the conversation, please rate and review. Your feedback helps us reach more souls just like you who are ready to calibrate to their most prosperous life. Know someone who needs this frequency boost? Share the episode to Instagram and tag me @_Anna Lozano so we can grow our energetically aligned community together. And please remember, true prosperity is about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth today. See you on the next activation.